Hola, how's it going? This is Ron. We're going to be covering a new update for TF2. It just got recently put out. I don't know how this is the timing. I don't know how I ran into it. I didn't know this was coming out, but I thought I'd just cover it since I was playing TF2 coincidentally. Yeah, basically pastime is a game mode where and a map where you get a ball, and that ball you have to score into the person's goalpost. The red dot there, and I have a blue. My team has the blue dot, and the red team has a red dot, and you gotta score in. If you're on the blue team, you clearly gotta score into the red team's hole. Yeah, you get it? Yeah, I don't think it's a terribly difficult concept, but I was trying to explore around this map. It's fun. I think this game mode is great, and I'll tell you why it's great in a moment. At least I'll try to. I'll probably blurt out all my ideas, and you guys probably won't have an idea of what I'm talking about at the end, but who cares? I'm just going to get it all down, and we're just going to go from there. Yes. So, as you can tell, right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hit all the jump pads. This jump pad launches you forward. I try to do a little loop-de-loop to try to kill this guy. It doesn't work. Essentially, this gameplay, or this game is trying to promote a bit more a different dynamic in gameplay, a different dynamic in how players interact or how classes work. There's passing, there's coordinated team play, there's high flying action, defense, and sudden death. Sudden death is when you guys are tied. I'm just reading this off the site, guys. Passing, clearly you can pass the ball. This game is kind of like capture the flag, except instead of trying to run over a pad, instead of trying to run the flag over a pad, you have to throw it into a pad. That's the only difference. And in capture the flag, instead of carrying the flag and having being able to draw out your weapon and use your specials, oh wait, can you carry out your weapon? No, you can't. You can't carry out your weapon. Capture the flag, you can't. You just hold the flag. Yeah, I think I remember now. Yeah, that's how it is. This is just an elaborate version of that. But I think this capture the flag isn't as fun, in my opinion. This is much more fun. You pick up the ball, you lose all your powers, but if you steal the ball from somebody, then you're going to get invulnerability. You will get, if you do hold the ball, you will get health, you will get a temporary speed boost, and you will get a vision of your opponents. For instance, in this case, I'm trying to figure out where everybody is, trying to plan out my moves so that I can safely put the ball into the goal, but unfortunately I think I see this guy. I think he kills me. I'm not sure. Oh, I deke him out, and I try to score, but I press the wrong button. I press the right mouse button key instead of the left button key, and that was a blunder on my part. I do a couple more of those later in the game. You'll see. But yeah, it's fun. I don't know how many times I've said that already, but it's great. It's a different play style. I see this guy try to kick him out. He tries to score it. As you can tell, it takes a little bit of effort to actually shoot it into the goalpost. It's not very intuitive. The way the ball flies is not very intuitive, or is intuitive, but takes some time to get used to. From here, I just try to use all the jump pads as much as I can. Just try to jump myself across the map with safety in mind. I try to score it here again. Again, I mess up and I hit the wall. You can tell that there's a sentry on that side, and that was shooting me. You might be wondering to yourself, well, if you just put a bunch of sentries there, don't you deny everybody from that position or that location? No. In my opinion, there are areas, there are blind spots where the sentry doesn't have any protection, and on top of that, they won't be able to hit you, and you can still score. The sentry is a great defense mechanism for those obvious areas where those easy shots, but if you were to try really hard, you can still score in the blind spots, if that makes sense. Yeah, in areas where the sentry doesn't have any protection, blah blah blah. You guys can figure that out when you guys play the actual game mode. But yeah, you can tell there the guy, the engineer, passed the ball to the scout, who can run faster. And on to my next point, which is how I think this game has changed, or this game mode has actually changed the way you look as a soldier, the way you look at a scout, the way you look at a pyro. Oh shit, what happens here? Oh, he gets annihilated. I try to get the ball because the spy is not really a great ball carrier. Yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna go run down the classes and what I think of them in this map. We're gonna start first off with the attacking group, which is the scout, soldier, and pyro. I can't really... The scout is super easy. They're the attackers. They're the forwards of the team. I'm gonna try to pair this up with an analogy with soccer, and yeah, the way I look at it, scouts are the forwards of the team. They are the ones that actually do the scoring and put the pressure onto the other team. Then you got classes like the soldier, who are in the attacking group, according to TF2, but in this map, I feel that they aren't really suitable for that. The reason why I say this is because they can't carry the ball. They can't... This map favors scouts so much because of the amount of cover a scout actually has, and because of the different there's just so much cover, and there's just so many areas for a scout to go to. It's hard to predict the path of a scout with the soldier's rocket. I guess I'm not that skilled, or I'm not skilled enough to be able to predict that, but there's just so many areas for a scout to run. It's very difficult to track a scout with a rocket in this map. They can run away, go up to the roof, and you'd have to rocket jump up to the roof. It's just hard. Then moving on to the pyro. That is probably my second favorite class to play in this game mode, my first being scout. The pyro is in a very unique position. They can nullify a scout's movements by air blasting, so it's very effective at trying to defend the ball, or defend your goalpost. They are also generally pretty fast. They can move pretty fast. As you can tell, I thought I was gonna switch over to the soldier, but I realized that the amount of disadvantages you have. So yeah, the pyro is super maneuverable. You got the jump pads that you could use. You got the little speed up pads here that you could use. You got a lot of cover that you can use. You can air blast when you need to. There's just a whole bunch of advantages when it comes to using a pyro. You can't really carry the ball. It's not as easy. As you can tell, I blundered up again, and I passed the ball to a spy, which I was absolutely not expecting. Yeah, so yeah, the pyro is a great class. What else? What's next? I think it's the demo. The demo's an okay class. It's like the soldier. Not as maneuverable, but I think a little more maneuverable in terms of, because of the fact that you could use the sword and the shield, or is it the sword and the shield? No, it's the shield. I forgot what the shield is called, but you can use it and you can charge. So that increases your mobility, and on top of that you can use the jump pads to get from place to place. Again, nullifying the whole point of a soldier, kind of, to rocket jump, to do all those neat little tricks to get around the map. Everybody seems to have that advantage with the jump pads. Sure, you can do it in other areas, but you also take a lot of damage for yourself, right? And because of the way scouts move, blah blah blah, same stuff. It's just it's a class that's kind of hurt. It's in a big disadvantage. I would place that class into the defensive position. The Pyro I would place in the midfield. It can go support the forwards, and it can support the defenders. It's highly maneuverable, so it can get from the front of the map to the back of the map very easily. Moving on to the next class, I believe that's, what is it? The demo, the Pyro, no, what's the next class? Oh, right, the Medic, yeah. Oh wait, no, the Heavy is the next class. That's right. I'm totally forgetting my classes now. Yeah, the Heavy, I think because he's so slow, I think he would be placed in home base, where he could provide support towards defending the goalpost. I don't think he's really good at moving forward. He can maybe support the midfielders, but I think he's best to be left in the defense mode. There's the Engineer. You could put him as an attacker, but this guy clearly fails. I don't think if you place the sentry in a defense or an attack position, it's a good idea. It'll get taken out really easily. You can place it in your near goalpost. It's a very good defensive area, and that's a perfect place to place it. And I don't know. I think that's the place to put it. You put him in defense. Then you got the Medic, clearly supporting all range of groups. He could be placed in midfield, supporting the forwards, midfields, and the defense team. You got the Sniper. He can go on the roof, and he can snipe people. I think he's also a very good midfield to forward unit. And what else is left? The Spy. Well, the Spy can do its own thing. He can't really do anything except fool the opposing team. I don't think the Spy is really worth anything in this game mode, other than watching people mess up like they did, or like I did. Yeah. And just in case I didn't cover this, if you guys tie, if the game is tied, you will end up doing sudden death, just like Capture the Flag or any other game mode that ties. It's super simple. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say, other than you guys should definitely try out this game mode. I think it's pretty well balanced. I don't think engineers are overpowered when it comes to defending their home base. I think it's totally defeatable. Some people have compared this map to Two Fort. I don't really feel like it's the same thing. This one has a bit more fun to it. Instead of like creating a sentry nest to protect the flag, blah blah blah. It's not like that. Sure, sentries are annoying, but I think it's overcomeable.